Most tennis players quit before they ever fail. Not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't working hard enough. They quit because they couldn't handle this part. You start alone, no audience, no recognition, and no proof it will ever work. And that's where 90% of the players disappear. You start alone, not in a stadium, not under the lights, and not with the sponsors or any applause. You start on courts that don't look any special. Very early mornings, empty stands, no cameras around. Nobody's expecting anything from you, just you and your idea. An idea that one day this could become something special, something more. And this is the phase that most people underestimate. Because when we talk about professional sport, we talk about results. We talk about rankings. We talk about prize money and contracts. But nobody really talks about the invisible phase, the years where nothing seems to change. You go for a training, and you train, and you train, and you train, and the outside world doesn't really move. I've seen a lot of talented players quit exactly in that phase. Not because their lack of ability, not because they aren't good enough, but because they couldn't handle the silence. The silence of progress, the silence of recognition, the silence of the doubt. There'll be moments where it feels really far away. And you lose your first round on a tournament in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tournaments in a row. Your ranking doesn't move or even goes down. Sponsors will say no. People and friends will stop asking, how is it going? How was your next tournament? How was your previous tournament? How will be your next tournament? Etc., etc., etc. And that voice gets louder. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe I'm too unrealistic. And this is the moment that defines everything. Not when you win, not when things are going your way, but when nothing is moving the way how you hoped. The players who make it are not the ones who never doubted themselves. They're not the ones who were always confident in their game. They're always the ones who stayed. They stayed when it was boring, they stayed when it was lonely, and they stayed when it was uncertain. Professional sport is not about motivation purely. It's about tolerance for the uncertainty. It's about showing up when there is no reward yet. Because in the beginning, you always start alone. Alone with the work, alone with the belief, and alone with the decision to continue. And that one day, if you stay long enough, you're not alone anymore. But the foundation was built in that lone part and in silence. And that's the part that nobody sees.